Right, this is topic number 3, and we can see the equations are getting a little more complicated each time. So it's a mess right here. So what we're going to have to do is complete some squares to get this in a standard form of an ellipse, okay? So here we start. Gather all the x's to the front first. I have x squared, 4x squared. Now where's the other x? Here it is, plus 16x. After that, let's gather all the y's. There is 25 y squared, and then minus 50y. You can just leave that 59 there, but I like to just move it to the other side. Well, it will have to eventually move to the other side. So move that 59, negative 59 to the other side by adding 59. So that minus 59 is now positive 59. Now what we're going to do is complete some squares, okay? Well, before I do that though, okay? Both x squared and y squared has a leading coefficient. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out that leading coefficient of, well, for x's, that's going to be 4, right? So pull out that 4 to the front. And inside, we're going to have x squared plus, because look, what we're doing is dividing both of these by 4. So 4x squared turn into x squared, and 16x will turn into 4x. Okay, so that's why I have x squared plus 4x inside. Okay, now watch. Remember how to complete squares from equation of the circles lesson, right? So take half of 4 and square it. Half of 4 is 2, and 2 squared is 4. So you are going to add 4 inside that parenthesis. But now, wait. If you are adding a number to the left side, then you must add that same number to the right side to make sure that equation is balanced, okay? It looks like we're just adding 4, but in fact, we're really adding 4 times 4, right? So that's why I am going to add 16 on the other side of this equation, okay? Now moving on to the y's, okay? So factor out that 25 to the front. 25 comes out to the front. Now we're going to have what inside? Y squared minus 2y. And to complete the square, take the half of the middle number and square it, okay? Half of negative 2 is negative 1. But when you square negative 1, you get positive 1. So you are adding 1 inside that parenthesis. Now, but you're not really adding 1 to the left-hand side. You're adding 25 times 1 to the left side. So when I'm adding the same number to the right side, I'm not going to do plus 1 there. I'm going to do plus what? 25. Okay? So this completing the square is something we tried back in section 1.2. Okay? But it came back, okay, because we have to rewrite that general form of a circle, ellipse, into a standard form. Now, let's try to simplify this by factoring. So this first x squared minus 4x plus 4 turns into x plus 2 squared by factoring. And then this plus 25. And that trinomial this time turns into y minus 1 squared. And what's on the other side? Let me add these numbers. 59 plus 16 plus 25. That came out to be 100. Oh, that's just perfect. 100. So after that, we are now going to divide everything by 100. So, and that the goal is to have 1 on the right side. So divide everything by 100. Divide this fraction by 100. Divide this fraction by 100. Okay? If you reduce this first fraction, you're going to get x plus 2 squared over 25. Let's reduce the y fraction. You're going to get y minus 1 squared over 4. And on the other side, you are going to get 1. So finally, we have an ellipse in standard form. Okay, so that took us some completing square work to get it into this perfect form for graphing. Now let's find the center. You can find the center by looking at the numbers being subtracted from x and y. Okay, When you have plus 2 for x, we know the x coordinate will be -2. Now let's look at the y's. We have -1, y -1, so the y coordinate will be +1. They're opposite. Now let's see how many we have to go right or left, okay? Underneath x plus 2 squared, we have 25. Square root of 25 is 5, so we're going to go right and left 5. And I'm going to the right or left because that number was under x, okay? Now look at the number under y. We have 4. So you're going to square root that 4. And we found out that we must go up and down 2 from the center to plot these co-vertices. So let's do it. So go 2 to the left, down, up 1. Here's our center. And I'm going to go 5 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 2 and down 2. After plotting all these vertices, all you have to do is connect them in a nice curve so that you have an ellipse. So this problem, I think the prerequisite skill is completing the square from algebra to algebra 1, I can't remember. But we also kind of did this during our circles lesson back in section 1.2. So just be very careful because the common mistake will be like you adding 4 instead of 16. But remember to distribute and add the number after multiplying. So instead of just adding 4, make sure to add 16. And instead of just adding 1, make sure to add 25. That will be one thing to be very careful about. But after you get it down to a standard form, I think after doing topic 1 and 2, you should be okay with graphing the ellipse.